Hey, welcome to the Actor's Side. I'm Pete Hammond, your host, and today I am so happy we have Jessica Chastain here. And if ever there's an actor I wanted to talk to, it's you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And you know, it's so interesting. Your new movie is Miss Sloane, which is great right there because it's called Miss Sloane. That means something for females in movies. And I looked at some of the movies you've been doing, and I'll just mention some of their names. Molly's Game, Woman Walks Ahead, The Zookeeper's Wife. These are all the strong leading roles for women. And is that a change now, or are you finding more scripts that you can respond to like this?
Yeah, I definitely see a change in the industry, especially being an audience member and going to films where I'm now seeing movies from female points of view, which is really exciting. I don't think we've solved any problems because I still think we're congratulating each other. Like, look what we're doing. We're making movies with diversity and female protagonists. But I do see a happy change. And also a lot about the characters that I'm playing. They're contributing something to the world. I mean, Zookeeper's Wife and Woman Walks Ahead, they're women in history that we don't know about, and I really wanted to shine the light on what they did.
Is that, as an actor, is that what you look for, something when you're looking at a script, that there's some extra element of it that's going to take it beyond just a good role? There's something beyond that for the audience that you want to bring out?
I've been so lucky. Like, my movies have only been out for 5 years, which I still am having difficulty believing this, but it's like eating cake every single day for 5 years has been so wonderful. But after a while, you want to share the cake, and you start to think like, okay, well, what am I contributing into the world, and what am I putting out into society? And I decided I've really been drawn to films that I feel like moves the needle in a positive way. And I think that's what you'll start to see in the next few years.
Yeah. Miss Sloane, wow. I mean, I don't know quite how to describe all the elements of that. It's political, but it's a thriller. It's a pot boiler, as they used to say. And it's got underlying subject matter with the gun control issue, which you are in the lobbying effort too. And it's one of the first times I've ever seen the whole lobbyist thing portrayed on screen in this way.
Yeah, I didn't really understand lobbyists. I mean, of course, I was a fan of West Wing, so you know, I saw a couple lobbyists on that show, but you never really see a film from a lobbyist perspective, or kind of that underworld of DC politics and who can kind of pull the strings. And it was fascinating to me, but as timely as it is about the gun debate, it's also very timely now, in which I didn't understand when I was making it, in terms of gender politics. Like right now, it's we were just talking about, it's a presidential election. It's so stressful, and in the first debate, Hillary Clinton's main criticism was that she was over-prepared.
Yeah.
I have never heard that ever said about a man, that he's over-prepared for the job. And Elizabeth Sloane is absolutely over-prepared. She's ambitious, she's a perfectionist, and she's flawed. And we're not used to seeing female characters in society be, portrayed like this, and also in our films.
Yeah, it's a fascinating kind of portrait. I mean, it almost, forgive the phrase, it almost could have been a man here,
I think
the way it's been done in the past.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've seen this film not this story, because of course it's a mystery, we don't know what's going to happen in a thriller, but we've seen these kind of characters played by men, the renegades, the rebel, the loner, the good of the all over the good of the few, and people can be collateral damage if they get in the way of like the big theme of the win. And we don't see women play those roles. And I want to change that. I mean, we're living in a society where, for some reason, women feel like they can't ask for pay raise, they can't ask for promotion, and I think everything is tied together. So we need to start seeing these type of female characters out there as representations of for what women can be.
And what was interesting too, almost poignant, I thought, watching the movie, was the personal life showing for her amidst all the business part of it and her career. There is that sad moment when she keeps going in these hotel rooms with this, basically, for lack of a better word, male hooker. Yeah. And and that's her life there. And that again is something we've seen portrayed with men, but not so much with women in this kind of situation.
Absolutely. I mean, when I first read the script, I thought, oh, I don't get these scenes. I'm not sure about this. What is this? And then when I saw the movie put together, and actually working with Jake, he has such integrity about him and about how he plays the role. I can't imagine the film without it, because it is the one time we see Elizabeth away from her work, and we get to see her trying to function in society as a normal human being. And how close can she get to another person? What walls does she have up? Does she ever release control? And I think those scenes are very important for her emotional underbelly, I guess, of the character she is.
Let me ask you about your, you came out of theater, like
Yeah.
so many actors, and so great, and on Broadway, the most recent one you did was The Heiress,
Yeah.
and, which is a hell of a role to take on, because we've seen it before with many people. Olivia de Havilland won an Oscar for the movie.
Cherry Jones.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
Cherry Jones. I mean, it's a great thing.
Beautiful.
Do you ever have, do you have that actor's fear when you go into roles? You're so successful, but do you have that kind of thing in the back of your mind that they're going to find me out? This is it?
Yeah, I feel very insecure. I feel like, I don't know if everyone's like this, but for me, there's a tightrope that I walk between this crippling fear and this almost arrogant confidence, right? Where you always feel like, oh, I'm going to be terrible in this. It's going to be, I'm going to be found out, like you said. And then also you have to almost have this confidence and this arrogance to say, I understand this character. I'm fighting for these choices, and you have to, and they balance out. Because otherwise, I guess, if you didn't have that kind of confidence that you could kind of throw in there, you would never get out of the room, and you would never make for any kind of risky choice with a scene or with a performance. But also, if you were just arrogant, you wouldn't really be able to listen to other people, I think.
Is there, when you're doing roles in theater and things, that's a different kind of thing for an actor to do than movies. But now you're so successful in movies. I mean, I just read off a list. Those are all the ones that haven't even opened yet, and you've had 2 Academy Award nominations. Is there a pressure put on you, hey, take the money, do the movie, and don't go back to theater? Because I talk to a lot of actors now that are giving up roles, giving up very lucrative things. They said, no, I've got to go do the stage.
Oh no, I'm going to always be a part of the theater scene. My whole life, that's what I thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to be a theater actress. I still have a keychain from a boyfriend gave me my senior year of high school from the Ashland, Oregon Shakespeare Festival, and it says, "Looking forward to working with you here." That was my dream, was to work at that festival. Movies actually have just been a new part of my life. It's incredible because I'm working with artists that I never even imagined, and I feel like I can reach a lot of people, especially when we talk about gender politics and our society, and maybe putting a spotlight in women in history that we might not have heard of. I like the reach of that, but theater's it's my heart and soul.
I remember talking to you and meeting you, but before I met you, I knew about you because a mutual friend of ours, the late great Dan Ireland, told me he had made a movie called Jolene, and he found Jolene. I said, "Who's Jolene?" "Well, I found this actress. Her name's Jessica Chastain." And I said, "Okay, that's nice," and all that. And then I saw it, and I saw what he was talking about, and you were so terrific in that. And then there was a period. I guess your first was Salome, Al Pacino, right? Directed it.
Yeah, my first film was Salome, and we did the play with Al Pacino at the Wadsworth Theater in LA, and then we made a movie of it at the same time, and it was about like a year-long journey where there was hardly any money. I mean, if you averaged out the hours, it was crazy, but that really changed my life. And actually, when I auditioned, I had a screen test for Jolene. They were very nice. I was very nice because we had just finished Salome, and he gave me a shot of the monologue at the end of Salome, and I brought that to Dan Ireland at the screen test with a little note and the DVD of my monologue.
So sweet. I mean, you were well known for being not well known for a while because you had like 5 movies that, for whatever reasons, were stuck in various stages of release or conflict or whatever of getting out there. And then all of a sudden, Jessica Chastain explodes on the world. They all came out,
It's insane. I mean, I used to think I was the most unlucky person, and then all of a sudden it was like, embarrassment of riches. I think all of those films coming out in the same year really helped shape my career because they were so different. The characters were so different, and then I think perhaps, I'm not sure, but perhaps it said that, okay, it gave me more diversity in my choices.
You've been able to do that on and on, almost like a great character actor, taking on roles that make you chameleon-like. I can't say that this one Jessica Chastain performance is like this one, or there's a fine line. It seems like you're doing all kinds of different kinds of things.
Yeah, I want to. I remember it was my first year at Juilliard, and I had an acting teacher who he was directing Grapes of Wrath, and I was playing the narrator, and the narrator would go in and play a bunch of different characters and then go talk to the audience. And he said to me, and I didn't quite understand it because I didn't know that actors could be defined in different ways. He says, I think you're a character actor, but you look like a leading lady. Like, you look like you should be the ingenue, but you're actually a character actor.
Yeah.
And I remember he said that, he was the first person who ever say that to me. And then I started to look at the actors that I really admire, and they're the ones that kind of like play like the different kind of roles. And, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be the lead in the movie. Like, I loved working on Crimson Peak. I loved working on The Martian and Interstellar and A Most Violent Year. And I like being able to come in and play a role that people might not expect from me.
I noticed that you're working with a lot of female directors, which is a great thing. Nikki Caro and Catherine Bigelow, obviously, with Zero Dark 30.
Amy Mann, Liv Ullmann, Susanna White.
Wow. I mean, that's really encouraging for what's happening in the industry.
Yeah, I try, you know, I was talking about it a lot, like, we need more female directors, we need more balance in this industry. And then I just was like, I gotta put my money where my mouth is. And so once a year, I try to work with a female director. I do a lot of movies every year, so it's easy. I go, okay, who's out there that is really interesting and exciting, and I want to help give them a platform.
All right, so you want to get Jessica Chastain to star in your movie? She just told you how. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pete. So good to see you.